Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West Texas.
Thanks for joining us tonight for CBS7 News on the CW, and thanks to those of you joining us live on the CBS7 YouTube. I'm Laura Munt, and we start tonight with education news. Last night, a 2-hour Fort Stockton ISD board meeting ended with no motion to vote on a year-round school schedule, a plan that would have required Fort Stockton residents, or students, I should say, in grades pre-K through 10th to attend a summer session unless they meet the following requirements: pass the STAR test, attend school 90% of the time, pass their core classes, complete and pass promotion comps, and no DAEP during the school year. If a student did all of these things, they wouldn't have had to attend the summer session.
Motion dies.
At 7:01 on Tuesday, the regular Fort Stockton School Board meeting was called to order.
Good evening. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Education, Fort Stockton Independent School District.
What followed was 2 hours of agenda items, conversation, and disagreements. One by one, parents stood up and shared how they felt about the year-round schedule.
And I still have yet to see evidence of this. More time in school means better grades, because if anything, it's shown that students don't want to be there.
They need their mental health breaks. Yeah. They need the days off, teachers and students.
Following public comment, school board members addressed many of those concerns.
One of the concerns was, we don't get to see our kids anymore. But the main thing on there was it wasn't for all the kids.
If I don't want to do that summer session of the extended school year or year-round model, then I have to meet these criteria. And these criteria are only there based off of what the state has set in place and what we believe the students need in order to succeed.
In the end, the proposal did not pass, but board members and parents still agree that there needs to be a plan to help their students.
I don't feel differently. I feel like it was a good thing to do. I just feel like we need maybe to discuss it a little bit more.
I'm glad I came because I did learn more of what they're wanting to do. I just think that there's better ways to do it, so I am relieved.
More changes to Fort Stockton ISD are expected to come before school starts. And now that this proposal has failed, the board is likely to search for a new plan. So if you're a Fort Stockton parent who wants to keep updated on these changes, the board posts their agenda on their website 72 hours before every meeting. And we here at CBS7 will, of course, continue to follow this developing story. We're tracking crime now, where the Odessa Police Department is investigating a hit and run after a 16-year-old girl was hit on Andrews Highway. According to police, the Dodge pickup truck you see on your screen now hit the teenager and then drove off. The victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Anyone with information is asked to call OPD. Still tracking crime, 42-year-old Ramiro Brito Jr. was arrested after police say he assaulted his ex-wife in front of her 10-year-old daughter. Police say this happened in the 800 block of Summer Avenue. And a woman claiming to be Brito's ex-wife says that he pinned her against a wall, slapped her, and forced the barrel of his handgun into her face. Police say the woman's 10-year-old daughter confirmed these details. And Brito has been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And Odessa police arrested this man for throwing a knife at someone. This incident happened last Thursday outside of the barber shop on North Dixie. 62-year-old Bruce Conley told police that he hit another man with a walking cane. He then threw a knife near where the other man was standing. Police say this started as an argument over a parking spot, and Conley was released from jail after posting his $50,000 bond. And in Lubbock, this month alone, officers have shot and killed 2 people. The first officer-involved shooting happened just 1 day after the former Midland Police Department chief, Seth Herman, started the job. Now he's defending his officers' actions, explaining how they only have seconds to make a decision.
Our department takes these use of force incidents seriously. This shooting, like all officer-involved shootings, will be thoroughly investigated.
What ended with a Lubbock police officer shooting and killing a man started off as a domestic disturbance. Officers were first called to a home in West Lubbock near 30th and Valencia at around 8:30 Sunday night. The 911 caller told dispatch 38-year-old Jacob Alonzo was drunk and hitting things around the house with a bat.
Fearing for their safety, the adult caller and 3 children were reportedly hiding from the suspect within a bathroom.
Police Chief Seth Herman tells us when the first officer arrived, he saw Alonzo in the driveway holding a pickaxe. He says the officer ordered Alonzo to drop the weapon, but instead Alonzo used it to hit an occupied car in front of the home. Then Alonzo charged at the officer and the officer fired.
Even after being shot, Alonzo continued to aggressively charge the officer with the pickaxe raised above his head before throwing the weapon at the officer.
Police called EMS and performed life-saving measures on Alonzo, but he died at the scene. Chief Herman says Alonzo made suicidal and homicidal threats prior to the officer's arrival. Alonzo has also been arrested before. Police say this is the first call to this home in the past year.
We want to remind the public in these situations that our officers are forced to make split-second decisions based off the actions and intentions of the individual, as well as the information that is available to them as they arrive on scene.
The officer wasn't hurt and is now on administrative leave, standard procedure for the use of deadly force. They've been with LPD since February of 2023.
This is ongoing training that is initiated at the academy level and continues throughout the course of their careers. So it is imperative that we make sure that they are prepared through the training process, and it is ongoing.
Another man was killed by an officer on June 4th after police say he charged at the officer and another person with a knife. Herman says he's aware of public perception, with this being the second of these situations in less than a month. But he says officers don't get to pick and choose circumstances or the actions of those involved when they arrive. After the use of deadly force, the Metro Special Crimes Unit, consisting of officers and sheriff's deputies, investigates. He says the officer involved in the early June shooting is now back on duty.
The first encounter was found that the officer was well within departmental policy as well as state and federal law.
It's time to take a look at weather now. Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller is here to tell us what can we expect as we continue the week.
Well, we are going to be dealing with more heat in our forecast. In fact, triple digits look to be on the way. Quick check of the radar now is showing that we still have some pockets of thunderstorms in and around the Hobbs area and also across southwestern portions of Reeves County. We'll start off with that activity northwest of Balmorhea. We're seeing some thunderstorms, but as you can see, everything is really starting to decrease as it drifts off to the south. So this may affect areas around Saragossa, Balmorhea, Toyavale here over the next hour or so. But again, it is decreasing in intensity. Also seeing a little line of thunder showers from just east of Eunice back into the southwestern corner of Gaines County. This will be moving into Andrews County along State Highway 176 here very shortly as it does move off to the southeast. Now taking a look at rainfall today, we've seen a half-inch of rain come out of some of these showers and thunder showers in the Alpine area, 2 100s in Marfa, 8 100s in the Hobbs area. So some welcome rains to help cool things off because we saw wickedly hot temperatures all the way up to 108 in Pecos, 111 down towards Rio Grande Village and out at the Middle National Air and Spaceport, 101 degrees this afternoon. Currently, we're seeing those temperatures trying to cool off a little bit as we look at some of the thunder shower activity. Again, well southwest of Pecos where it's still 99 degrees, still 102 down towards the Terlingua area. And we're still dealing with some of this humidity, adding a couple of degrees to the temperatures. And this is not going to go anywhere because we're still carrying these south to southeast winds, bringing in some of that Gulf moisture across the area. So it's going to make for a very warm overnight as we'll see temperatures only sliding down into the upper 70s to near 80 overnight tonight. And you guessed it, more triple-digit heat is in our forecast.
Thank you, Tom. And as those temperatures continue to rise across West Texas, so did the dangers that come with having your pet outside for long periods of time. If your pet is exposed to hot temperatures, it can cause dehydration, diarrhea, vomiting, or even a trip to the vet. And in order to avoid any of those potential risks, Odessa Animal Shelter has some tips to keep your pets safe.
Wait a little longer, or just have them go to the backyard, or if you live in an apartment and there's grass right outside of your apartment, just have them go right there and then take them back in. I mean, if you can't handle the heat, why do you expect your animals to?
If you notice that your pet is experiencing any health issues, you should call or visit that vet immediately. We have a traffic alert for you now. The city of Midland passed a motion to award a $4 million contract for the final phase of the Garfield Street paving bond project. This project will replace all underground infrastructure before they pave the roads with concrete. The city says these new roads are meant to last and improve traffic.
This is really turnkey. It's all inclusive. We're adding storm drain pipe actually. We're adding new water line, new sanitary sewer, and then coming back and paving the entire roadway in concrete. But you're looking at improvements that are going to last 50+ years.
A roundabout will also be built at Cuthbert and Garfield, and construction is set to start after the utility work is completed. This roundabout will improve traffic flow and mitigate any dangers associated with drivers cutting through neighborhood streets. And the Midland City Council has introduced a mental health app for first responders. This app serves as an outlet for officers, firefighters, and emergency dispatchers to talk about things that could be affecting their mental health. The app is called Cornico, and it allows these first responders to stay anonymous.
So it gives them a really good anonymous resource because I've always said, you know, firemen and policemen both go see things and do things that the normal public doesn't do, and it helps to have some kind of outlet when you finally need to have that outlet, and this software will allow them to have that outlet.
This app will also be available to all first responders. The Midland City Council also approved 2 new turf fields at the Scarborough Sports Complex. Council members say that the move is one that looks to the future and that these turfs would expand the complex's capacity for any sporting events.
We're willing to invest in our parks and rec and you know, have things that's better for our future. I don't think we can have enough fields at this moment with all of the activity that we have going on.
These turf fields will cost over $200,000, and it could be finished sometime next year. And this evening, Odessa College announced that David Wood has accepted the head coaching position for their baseball team. Wood served as an assistant coach at San Jacinto College before being promoted to interim head coach in 2023. In 2024, he led the Ravens to a 40-21 record and the NJCAA Super Regional Tournament. And if you're interested in improving your golf game, the city's Parks and Recreation Department is hosting a ladies golf clinic. Players of all ages and skill levels are welcome to sign up for the clinics. And the Parks and Recreation Department reports that this golf clinic has doubled in size from last year. Coaches teach everything from the basic rules to on-course play.
It's nice to have the city, you know, giving this kind of opportunity to everybody.
I want to be able to at least hit the ball and aim it in the direction I want and it actually go in that direction. If I can do that, I don't even care if it goes far.
Now this is happening every Tuesday at Ratliff Ranch Golf Links from 6 to 7:30 p.m. and it only costs $30 per session. Still ahead, Odessa Police Summer Camp, local artists in a Netflix documentary, and Miss Texas talks education. These stories are next. The 2024 Odessa Police Athletic League Summer Camp has come to an end. And the summer camp was a 4-week program that had 87 kids and several officers attend. The program utilizes athletic and recreational activities to create trust and understanding between police and youth. Odessa Police Department has hosted the Police Athletic League 28 out of the last 32 years. And Amazon is releasing the latest season of their documentary series, The Story of Art in America. And one of those episodes focus on local artists from right here in Odessa. It shines a light on several locals who create art in many different ways, including an art teacher from UTBB, a florist, and a cook. The episode wraps up with a tour of Odessa arts. If you're interested in watching it, you can find it on Amazon. And for some people, pageants mean glam and glitter. But for Ellie Bro, it's always been more than that. Bro was Miss Texas 2023 and competed as a way to pay for her education at the University of North Texas. She ended up graduating in May of 2023 and had over $40,000 in scholarships after competing.
I honestly wish I would have known about the organization early on. I can't imagine how much scholarship money I would have earned had I started at the age of 13, going all the way into my current age, 23. So I think when I go out to elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, I encourage young girls to start early to gain that scholarship money. You don't have to win the title. You don't have to win the shiny hat to gain scholarships to further your education.
Bro is stepping out of the limelight for someone else to take over the role of Miss Texas. And the pageant is this Saturday, and you can watch it right here on the CW.
Well, it's still going to be hot for the weekend as we're going to see more triple-digit heat for the rest of the week. We'll talk about it up next.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, again, another check of the satellite and radar shows plenty of clouds left over, but a little less in the way of showers, thunder showers as the sun is set. A lot of this starting to wind down, but still a little activity around the Eunice area, moving into northwest Andrews County, and also here west of Pecos, west of Balmorhea. We're looking at a couple of showers, but as you can see, everything is really on a downward trend right now as there's some of that thunder shower activity southwest of Pecos, where we are seeing occasional flash of lightning and that. Temperatures are still hot. It's 99 degrees in Pecos. Mid-90s across the Permian Basin, but cooling off thanks to the rain here into the mountain areas, upper 70s in Alpine and around the Marfa area too at the present time. Now here's looking at the weather makers right now. Big ridge of high pressure out there, but see numerous showers and thunderstorms popping up in that intense daytime heating because we have a little Gulf moisture, a little Pacific moisture moving in these areas. And this is going to be the same situation coming up tomorrow. It may shift a little bit further off to the west, but still into the mountain areas looking for some isolated shower, thunder shower activity. Most of the state, though, has been dry. We had some severe storms around the Amarillo area. Those are moving down I-27 towards Canyon and the Plainview area at the present time. But most of the state, again, rather quiet. And we saw a hot one today with temperatures all the way up to 108 in El Paso. 111 at Rio Grande Village was the hottest temperature could find this afternoon. East of the hill country, well, we saw temperatures into the upper 90s, but heat index values, when you add in that humidity, we're up around 107 to 110. Now the futurecast, not going to see much in the way of shower, thunder shower activity. Everything should be gone by about midnight tonight. The mountain areas lighting up once again tomorrow afternoon, continuing into the evening hours. But for the most areas of West Texas and southeast of Mexico, things look dry coming up for your Wednesday. So again, we are going to be seeing pretty much more of the same, as hot temperatures are going to be on the way in triple digits. Not really cooling off a lot overnight tonight. Looking at the upper 70s to near 80 out around Monahans and Pecos overnight tonight with just a touch of humidity in the forecast. Tomorrow, back into the triple digits for most areas with south winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, and we are going to be dealing with some of that humidity across the area. And taking a look at that CBS7 First Alert exclusive 10-day forecast showing the triple digits hanging out for the rest of the week. High pressure tries to weaken some this weekend. It's going to help us out on temperatures, and may see a couple more isolated showers, thunderstorms in the forecast late in the weekend.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has agreed to plead guilty to violating the Espionage Act and then will walk free. Assange revealed state secrets about America's wars on his website, WikiLeaks. U.S. prosecutors have been trying to get him back on American soil to face those charges for years. But as Jared Hill explains, the plea deal he's agreed to sign will take place on a remote island in the western Pacific Ocean.
WikiLeaks posted this photo of Julian Assange early Tuesday on board a flight with the caption, "Moving closer to freedom." Assange left the UK last night, headed to Northern Mariana Islands, a U.S. territory about 3,000 miles north of his home in Australia. He's expected to plead guilty tomorrow to one count of espionage for his role in one of the biggest leaks of classified information in recent U.S. history. U.S. prosecutors are giving him credit for serving a little more than 5 years behind bars in London. He would have faced life in prison if convicted of 18 counts, most under the Espionage Act, for conspiring with former Army intelligence analyst Chelsea Manning to steal classified documents relating to the Iraq and Afghanistan wars in 2010.
I think one takeaway here is that the U.S. government takes this situation seriously and that they tried very hard for years to extradite him to the U.S.
Assange supporters are cheering news of the plea deal.
This is the first time in the 100-year history of the Espionage Act that a journalist or someone committing journalism, someone engaging in journalistic act, has been prosecuted under the Espionage Act for essentially receiving information and communicating information.
Assange's legal trouble started in 2012 when he fled to the Ecuadorian embassy in London to escape extradition to Sweden, accused of rape and sexual assault. The charges were dropped, but he stayed at the embassy for 7 years. During that time, WikiLeaks released thousands of emails stolen from the Democratic National Committee. In 2019, Ecuador expelled Assange from the embassy, and the UK sentenced him to 50 weeks in jail for breaching bail conditions related to the rape inquiry.